Sonic's erratic movement has caused me to slip off a rotating platform one time too many, and I'm growing tired. Finally, the end. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone had a great day today. And today I'm just going to go over this article that I found on PC Gamer. It's called Sonic Frontiers Feels Like an Incoherent Mess, and a boring one at that. Wow. Let's get into this right after the intro. All right, everybody. I hope everyone had a good day today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon just so you can see when I upload new videos and go live. But I just wanted to see this. I wanted to go over this article with you real quick because basically, I'm planning on buying this game. I think this game is officially going to be released on November 8th or something like that. And I've watched a good number of YouTube videos, some of the YouTubers that were able to play this early and play the sample that they had. And, I have heard a little bit of back and forth. Some people, I know everybody saw there was kind of like pop in and, in some of the open areas where you see pop in of some of the rails in the sky just kind of popping in out of nowhere, some of the enemies just popping in. And then we saw a better trailer that, where everything kind of looked a lot nicer after that. So I'm a little nervous when I saw this article, and I'm going to have the link in the description. This article was written by Mollie Taylor about 4 days ago. And this is what it says. It says, I'm still warming up to the Blue Blur's latest endeavor. I'm bouncing through a cyberspace portal, one of Sonic Frontiers' mini stages. Sonic's erratic movement has caused me to slip off a rotating platform one time too many, and I'm growing tired. Finally, the end. The only thing between me and the goal is a simple jump paddle. I go at it full speed, and it overshoots me. The goal whizzes past me as I fall into the abyss and return to the beginning of the stage. Yes. All of you out there who've played Sonic games, have you felt that pain as well? I have too. But that being said, even though it's kind of funny, I am a little concerned. I mean, Sonic is famous for moving extremely quick, so he can be a little difficult to control, especially for a platforming game. When you're playing a platformer and your character moves that fast, it definitely can make things challenging. But that being said, I am one of those people that if I play a Sonic game long enough, eventually I will start getting used to it. So I'm not too worried about the controls and him, Sonic being a little difficult to control. I think if you play it long enough, you probably will start getting the hang of it. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments as well, by the way, because I'm really interested in hearing what your opinions are. But if we continue reading here, it says, perhaps it had something to do with this being the final appointment of my tiresome 3-day gamescom trip. But I couldn't help but feel deeply frustrated. A deep sigh unwillingly passes my lips. It's at this moment I realized I wasn't having any fun, and Sonic Frontiers had officially broken me. So, she's being conscious of the fact that, she's on a trip. Maybe she's getting a little tired, having a rough time here. But eventually she comes to the conclusion that it's actually the game that is giving her a problem. She's not happy with the game after playing it. And that is a little concerning. She says, I wanted to like Sonic Frontiers. The Blue Blur has the world as his own personal playground. Railings to grind and jump pads to launch off sprinkled across grand plains and sandy trenches. It sounds great in concept, but after playing 30 minutes of the game's second island, I'm not too sure if Sonic should be given the whole world to blitz through. Don't get me wrong, burning rubber across desert island areas is as fun as it is in any other Sonic game. But there's an awful lot of empty space which suffers from pop-ins of rails and other classic Sonic traversal doodads. So she is actually mentioning that she did see the pop in. That is definitely kind of concerning. She says they appear awful suddenly and have the thoughtful placement of a drunk man playing Jenga. There's a real lack of flow to them, and in game, or and in a game that already looks a bit rough, further hampens the overall level design. When I think of the bombastic levels of Sonic past, Frontiers is awfully soulless in comparison. Whoa. Brutally honest here. At least that's what it's coming off as. Let's keep reading. Ring out. I scurry around and quickly come across a Guardian, large boss encounters that incorporate some light action with puzzling. I ascend into the air by grinding along a series of rings before reaching 3 large rings circling the boss itself. It's relatively simple work at first, having to fully highlight all 3 rings before I'm allowed to whack at the boss. I'm flung back to the ground, forced to climb once again. It's a little slow and frustrating. And then extra projectiles flung at me during round 2 see me lose all my rings and eat dirt. I don't have the heart to attempt the slow ascension once again. So she's kind of feeling the pressure of, it sounds like the difficulty of the game maybe was getting to her. But, I don't know. In my opinion, I've played games, and if you've watched any of my Pac-Man games that I've been uploading lately, I mean, I've had my share of falls and made my share of mistakes. And as frustrating as it is, I don't think a game is really worth the money if you don't feel some level of frustration. I mean, there should be some difficulty for the game that makes you want to keep trying to get past the level. I know no one likes it. I don't either. But the truth is that unless something is, it's not going to, if it's too easy, you're going to feel like you wasted your money. So I'm not really that afraid of there being a certain level of difficulty. I don't think that alone is going to make me dislike the game. What do you all think? Anyway, if we read on, she says, most of my time was spent sort of scurrying around, figuring out just what to do next. It was hard to get a grasp for Sonic Frontier's many systems in this short time frame. It feels like there are a number of different mechanics, modes, and mini games to sink my teeth into. Every other loading screen, I'm thrown into a tutorial or drill to learn the game's various mechanics, another thing that feels like it interrupts Sonic's flow. I can't help but feel like Sonic Frontiers is just an incoherent mess. For me personally, a mess I wasn't having much fun with. Sonic Frontiers is the perfect example of how not every game needs to try and make grand open world formats work. Linear is cool, baby, and I feel as though Sonic has a much better time when he's given a little less space to play around with. Being the fastest lad in the world is sweet, but it doesn't have the same impact when half of that world is an empty desert. I hope if I have a little more time to learn its intricacies, I can find a fun experience, albeit one wrapped in lifeless level design. All right, and then this is a little bit about Mollie here. It says she's a fresh writer in the industry. Mollie has been taken under PC Gamer's RGB Latin wing, making sure she doesn't get up to too much mischief on the site. She's not quite sure what a command and conquer is, but she can rattle on for hours about all the obscure rhythm games and strange MMOs from the 2000s. She's been cooking up all manner of news, previews, and features while she's been here, but especially enjoys when she gets to write about Final Fantasy, Persona, The Sims, and whatever other game she's currently hopelessly fixated on. There's a good chance she's boring another PC Gamer writer about her latest obsession as we speak. All right, so I guess they're giving us a little background on Mollie. So, I mean, it seems like I get the impression she's basically may not be the biggest, huge expert in the world, but she's a longtime gaming fan and has some experience playing some games, at least since going back as far as the 2000s, which is how, I kind of am as well. I don't think I'm like the biggest expert gamer, but I've played my share of games going back to Atari and Intellivision, Nintendo, Sega, and then eventually, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So I can respect Molly's opinion on this. So what do you all think? I mean, personally, I can see where she's coming from. I mean, she basically is, she was expressing things a lot of people express with games, the frustration, falling off of platforms, getting hit, trying to figure the game out, um, feeling like the pacing is off with the game, that it's, going through tutorial after tutorial, trying to figure out what to do. Uh, Sonic, like she's losing control of Sonic, so she's expressing difficulty with the controls. Um,
Whoa.
that I also get frustrated with, but I am willing to just play the game enough where I can get control of the character and figure the game out. To me, I think that's part of a good game, especially if you're going to be spending, 50 or $60 on a game. You know, I mean, you got to figure out something. It can't be too easy to play. You got to figure out something. The one thing that does concern me though is the pop in, because if there are like graphical or performance issues, um, that will take away from the game to me. I remember when I played Sonic 6, or what was it, Sonic '06, I'm sorry. When Sonic '06 came out, that was really criticized for being unfinished and, having all kinds of glitches and problems like that. But what made that game so amazing is that it had this potential to be huge, because, all these levels were huge. You could play as all the characters like Silver and, uh, Shadow and everything like that. And it just had this really long story. It was like, I mean, it felt like I played it for hours and hours. Like it just would never end, and you had to figure all this stuff out. But it was plagued by like glitches and all kinds of stuff where, it was ridiculous. So there were a lot of times where I had to just start a level over because things froze up or something like that. But whenever I hear somebody say something like that, like the way she's describing, the pop in, it just kind of gives me flashbacks to Sonic '06, where, the game had this potential to be so great because it was so huge. But in the end, the finish and the glitches and all that stuff, it took away from it to the point where the game basically just kind of became a joke. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Sonic Frontiers. So I'm still going to get the game and I'm going to play it on this channel. Um, let me know in the comments if you have any other platformer style games you want to see me play on here. But I'm definitely going to be getting it. So look out for that. And I am also considering having another giveaway where I will actually give Sonic Frontiers away to one of my subscribers as a gift. I'm Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think right now the only way you can get a game as a gift is either on Xbox and on Steam, I think. I'm not sure that PlayStation allows you to do that, and I don't think Nintendo allows you to do that. So if I do give away Sonic Frontiers to someone, it may be confined to, you having to be uh, on Steam or Xbox. So let me know what you think about that in the comments if that's something that you want me to give away. I really appreciate your feedback. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for my next gameplay upload. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.